Alright, welcome back everyone to our second game of tonight in this best of three between the North American Rejects and the Boreal eSports for the Dota 2 Canada Cup. We are in the winner's bracket finals. It's referred to as the semifinals, it's effectively the finals. Winner goes on to the grand finals, loser drops down to the loser's bracket finals. We've got the North American Rejects ahead right now. 1-0 in the series. They took the game one in a pretty commanding fashion. They kind of walked all over Boreal eSports. I want to say it was a little bit of a draft win, but certainly they played well. They played up to the draft as well. But now Boreal eSports, they're going to look to turn it around. They've got first pick, and now just debating what they're going to pick to set them off on the right foot. They didn't ban out the Undying this time around. It was the North American Rejects, but they did ban the Wisp once again. But this time removing the Zeus, and the Queen of Pain was also removed. And holy crap, this draft is coming quickly. I was about to tell you about the tournament in Dota 2 Canada Cup, but might not have time. So go check out DotA2.ca if you want to find out more about the tournament. Of course, there's an in-game ticket as well, so you can find that also. There's an official stream over at twitch.tv/Dota2 Canada Cup. It's nice and simple and easy for you guys to find, so go check that out. Give them a follow as well. But we've got Boreal picking up the Shadow Fiend with their first pick, so they want to put that on KVH one more time. He struggled with it a little bit early on. But the NA Rejects knew exactly what they wanted. Visage remained in the pool, immediately got picked up by them, and they paired it up with the Drow Ranger. So they have that combo where the Drow Ranger aura amplifies the Visage Familiar's damage and makes them hit ridiculously hard. So they knew what they wanted, and well, they picked it immediately. Boreal eSports took a little bit more time to decide what they were going to fire back with, and they chose to go with the Lina, which certainly not a bad pick. And now the next set of bans going through. Vengeful Spirit gets removed by Boreal, and the Centaur Warrunner gets removed by the NA Rejects. I think we've only seen Centaur once. Out of all these games, I think we've only seen him once, and I don't... He didn't pick up an Aghanim Scepter, so we didn't even get to see everyone run and knocking down the trees. A little disappointing. But maybe we'll get to see it a little bit later in the tournament. Maybe.
Dire team ban.
Leshrac now getting banned by Boreal. As teams really think that that hero is strong and want to remove it. Some teams going as far as banning it in the first set of bans. We saw top 5 do that. We saw...
seconds remaining.
I forget who else did it. It was a couple days ago. They banned it in the first set as well. But not just these guys. Teams in the pro scene as well also electing to ban out the Leshrac early on. But we see it slip all the way to the second set of bans, but Boreal's not letting it through, as they're going to remove it. As Leshrac pretty damn strong going in that kind of aggro tri-lane scenario. But he's kind of menacing as well if you leave him alone in the safe lane and he gets a little bit of farm. Spectre is the final ban for the NA Rejects, and they're going to pick up the Clockwork.
Team pick.
It's going to be an MSS Clockwork. It's going to show Jeppins how it's done this time, maybe. Or maybe not. We know from past experiences that both these players can play one hell of a Clockwork. But Jeppins was quite limited last game. Of course, he had a really bad lane, given that he was up against the Anti-Mage. And it wasn't just him, you know, he came out of the lanes. It's okay if the Clockwork's a little bit behind because he can generally get himself back in the game, working around his team. But the problem is that everyone on the side of Boreal was behind. So there was no one who could really help the other hero catch back up. They were just too far behind, and they were all struggling. Running like, almost, I don't want to say this because it sounds almost offensive to Boreal eSports, but it was kind of like they were running around with their heads cut off. They didn't know what was going on. They didn't know where to go. Of course they do, but when you're that far behind, it's not that you don't know what you're doing, it's that there's not much to do. So the map seems very, very small. And of course it is. Your version of the map, the amount of map, or the portion of the map that you control is significantly smaller than your opponent's. And Boreal was just kind of really tied up with that, and everywhere they tried to make a move, they seemed to run into 3, 4, sometimes even 5 heroes from the side of the North American Rejects. Now we'll have our third pick for Boreal. It's going to be a Viper. So are they not putting the Shadow Fiend in the mid lane and putting the Viper instead, or are they
Radiant team pick.
picking up the Viper to go aggro? I don't think that's necessarily the case going up against a Visage. But you know what they're doing with this Viper pick is saying, you know what? If you go aggro, that means you're creating a situation where our Viper is going to be 1v1 against your Clockwork, which is a very heavily Viper favored lane. The other side was, if you want to go aggro, well, maybe, at least at this point in the draft, you could be aggroing into a Viper tri-lane, which is certainly very scary as well.
Reserve time.
But we'll see how Boreal chooses to go forward with this. Rubik was the pick for the North American Rejects, so they have a very, very potent tri-lane that they could potentially go aggro with this. Of course, 3 ranged heroes. It's going to be pretty big, but look at this. Look at this from Boreal, as they're going to add Tusk. And I was doing a little bit of casting for the Saturday DotA League. And I'll be casting that every Saturday, of course. But Boreal eSports, they were messing around with the Tusk in their match last Saturday. Hot off that 2-0 win against No Tidehunter. But they ended up getting 2-0'd by No Broodmama.
Reserve time.
But either way, they were running around with the Tusk, and they were just kind of having fun with it. They had at least one stand-in. I can't remember if they had more, but I know they had at least one stand-in. Because PQ wasn't playing the first game. But yeah, they were having some fun with it. I think Jeppins was the one playing the Tusk, I believe. And it'll be interesting to see if they choose to put him in the off lane.
10 seconds
and the
remaining.
Viper's kind of their safe lane core. That would be a very
5 seconds remaining.
aggressive lineup. And a lineup that's definitely going to hit their peak really early in the game. Tidehunter, the ban for the North American Rejects. And now Boreal will look to remove their last hero, which should be a mid hero. Well, at least that's what North American Rejects are looking to fill out their roster with. It's going to be a TA, so banning the Korok TA as a Espresso shot, saying that the Viper potentially to prevent Korok's TA. But it gets removed anyways, and then A Rejects knew what they wanted. They pick up the Invoker. So it looks like it's going to be an Invoker mid, Clockwork in one of the side lanes, and then the Visage, Dro, and Rubik in the other side lane, whether that's an aggro tri-lane or just a defensive tri-lane. I feel like it's almost a little bit of a waste putting that in the defensive tri-lane, but they'll gauge that based on what Boreal chooses to finish up their lineup with, and it's an Ogre Magi. Wow, this is an aggressive lane. So it is going to be Jeppins on the Tusk, so he's looks like Tusk off lane, Shadow Fiend mid, and then a tri-lane, whether that's aggro or not, I don't know. But either way, let's introduce the teams quickly. As on the Radiant side, we're going to have Boreal eSports. They're down 1-0 in the series. They're going to try to rebound back with a win here. So Pizza Dad is going to be playing the Ogre Magi. Angry Testy is going to be on that Viper, so core Viper. Jeppins, offlane, Tusk. KVH is going to be on the Shadow Fiend once again, and PQ is going to be on the Lina. For our Dire side, it's going to be Team North American Rejects. MSS is going to be playing the Clockwork. Ush is going to be playing the Invoker. Chad playing the Rubik. Korok is going to be on the Dro Ranger, and Fogged is going to be on the Visage. So if you follow us through the group stage and through the tournament all the way up to now, you'd know that the North American Rejects, they've only lost one game this entire tournament, and that was because a little bit of connection issues. They lost it in the group stage to top 5. A team that Boreal eSports 2-0'd in the first round of the winners bracket. So, North American Rejects remain undefeated, and they look like at least they're one game up right now. They're potentially threatening going to the grand finals here. Looks like that aggro tri-lane, or at least that movement into the Dire jungle, didn't really net any kills or anything, but they did ward up the pole camp. It'll be interesting to see what they choose to do. It looks like they're just going to leave the Tusk in the top lane and go back towards the bottom lane, at least putting their Viper there. And it looks like it is going to be a defensive tri-lane coming up from the North American Rejects. So whether they're doing a little bit of mind games or what, the tri-lanes will not find each other. Courier now going to deliver a salve. And the supports, they're not going to see it. They could have potentially picked off that Courier if they had vision. Look at this. This movement by Ush. He knows it's threatening, but he needs to micro his hero instead as he's going to get stunned up by Pizza Dad, followed up by the stun from PQ. And Ush is going to be our first blood. Boreal eSports off to a great start this game. Jeppin's getting harassed back a little bit in the top. As he's going to be Tusk up against the Visage, the Dro, and the Rubik. Mid lane's going to be Shadow Fiend up against the Invoker. Bottom lane's going to be Viper up against the Clockwork. And looks like these two supports are going to be roaming around quite a bit. Or maybe not, as they're just going to make their way back up in the top lane, where Jeppins is sitting in that snowball as he tries to dodge most of the damage coming in, but now they're going to try to focus him down. But here comes the support, as both Pizza Dad and PQ come in, stunning up everyone in this tri-lane. As they're going to almost get the kill onto Korok there, dropping him down to 8 HP. Chad taking a bunch of damage as well. LSA will catch both of them. And now they're going to get a kill here onto Chad as Jeppins comes rolling on in with the snowball as he starts snowballing. And now Fogged is going to get stunned up as well. One more auto attack from PQ will get the kill, but the tower will get the return kill. So 3-1 now in favor of Boreal eSports as they just walk on up here and just annihilate this North American Rejects tri-lane.
My thanks.
They will all TP on back. Ice Shards will fly through, but won't actually hit anyone. Korok had his healing salve activated, but it wasn't knocked off. MSS now picks up the bottom lane. It's just going to be an illusion as how's he been doing in the bottom lane? He's actually been doing alright. 8-2 right now versus 7-2 on Angry Testy. So, Jeppins. Wow. Or MSS, sorry. Wow. Impressive stuff coming out from him in that bottom lane. And now, look at this. The Light Striker race. Stunning up Fog, but also breaking the trees, and that's going to allow Boreal to engage one more time as Fog's going to go down. Pizza Dad will go down as well, though, as he was getting hit by the towers. He maybe got a little bit far forward there. But it will be a 1-for-1 trade, and I don't know who that's advantage. I think that's probably advantage North American Rejects there. But good opening there coming out from PQ, destroying the trees, allowing them to potentially go for that kill. Upon respawn, Pizza Dad picking up the Smoke of Deceit. So they're not done with the aggression. They're going to be moving around. They're going to be trying to get some kills. Mid lane, KVH has been doing a terrific job as he's well out ahead. He's at 18-8 CS versus just the 9-2 from Ush. Bottom lane starting to go a little bit more in favor of Angry Testy on the Vipers. He's at 12-6 now, whereas MSS still at 9-2. Pizza Dad's come back up here, rejoining his lane. As they actually haven't really managed too much CS. Just 6 CS on the side of Boreal's tri-lane here. And Korok sitting at 15-4 right now. So the farming advantage is definitely in favor of the North American Rejects as they look to engage one more time. But Chad is there with the lift for the disengage, but not enough. As Fog's going to get double stunned up here. And they will be able to finish the kill off with PQ, and look at this. Jeppins just hops into the snowball as he's going to snowball into Chad. He's going to die, but he knew he was going to die, just basically dragging it out. So they had to spend a little bit longer to get the kill there. MSS actually TP'd on up. A little bit of a waste there, as that further allows Angry Tessie to keep farming the bottom lane, and this bottom lane is going to go further and further in favor of Boreal. As you can tell, right now, the side of North American Rejects feeling like something has to happen in this top tri-lane, but now something has to happen in their mid lane as Ush is getting wrapped around on once again. These two supports, Pizza Dad and PQ, they have been dominating this early game, and frankly winning the game for their team so far. But now some items start to come out. PQ picks up his Arcane Boots. MSS just picks up his Tranquils. And we also had Treads finished by Angry Testy. As we hop back to the mid lane where KVH is #1 now. Ush struggling quite a bit. He's got a Observer Ward that's been pulled to him by Chad, as he's probably going to look to place that maybe up here. Could just be up on the high ground. As action in the top lane, as we just missed a kill as Jeppins dropped Korok, and we're going to see Fog go down.
tower is under
Chad
attack.
well away from any of the action as he's playing a little bit safe. As MSS looking to get a engage here onto KVH. He's just going to be able to walk on up, trap him right into the cogs with the battery assault. No hook shot needed. Sunstrike will provide a little bit of damage.
And their corpses
But MSS gets the kill and KVH goes down. Now, we'll have Korok return to the top lane. Ice shards will fly through and trap Fog. Just Pizza Dad just walks on in. They get the kill there. PQ is actually the one with the killing blow. Korok will get hit with the ignite, but MSS has come up here, and once again, he just walks up and traps someone in cogs as Pizza Dad's going to go down. LSA and Dragon Slave both hit up Chad, but he's 110 HP away from going down. But this is, you know, this is looking a little bit better for the North American Rejects. They've had some good retaliation kills. They got the kill on KBH in the mid lane. They just got that kill on the top lane. That's all good and well. The problem is that this is really sacrificing MSS, as he's been doing a bunch of this moving around, and this is preventing him from getting that good opening that you want on the Clockwork to allow him to be that bigger presence in the mid game. And they're sacrificing a little bit of that to have him involved early on and helping the other lanes which have been struggling to kind of get their legs back under them. The problem with this, like I said, he's not going to be as strong in the mid game as he typically would if he was sitting in the bottom lane. And on top of that, Angry Testy, he's having a field day down here just completely farming up. So he's going to be bigger than anticipated as well. So North American Rejects certainly not out of the woods yet, as they're still struggling. We're going to have MSS making a rotation as well, back up into the top lane. But this Observer Ward spotted him when he walked through there. But he will make his way on up here. We're going to have Chad TPing on in. It is 4 heroes up here for North American Rejects. Despite the fact that they saw MSS making that rotation, they are going to engage. They will get the kill onto Korok. Jeppins will go down as well. Pizza Dad's going to go down. Boreal definitely overextended here, as North American Rejects will be satisfied with those 2 kills. They did lose their Dro, though, so that's one thing that's not going for them. You have to keep in mind, every time they get a kill on the Dro Ranger, for the North American Rejects to basically get that equivalent kill, they have to kill Angry Testy in the bottom lane, which, I mean, hasn't happened. There has been no pressure applied to Angry Testy. Maybe you could compare it with KVH and getting a kill on him, but still, he's only died that once. There's been very little pressure applied to him, but the pressure keeps coming out from Boreal as they get another kill in this top tri lane as they find Chad. Korok going to push everyone back and silence them. KVH is walking through the jungle here as there's been a whole bunch of trees taken out. He's not able to land that kill onto Fogged, who's down at 20 HP, but Korok is even lower as he's desperately running for his life. As Jeppins will get the kill with the snowball. Fogged. Wow, so close to going down, but he will live to fight another day.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
As Ush getting forced back in the mid lane. It's KVH 56-23 versus the 35-4 from Ush, as we just had Fog sacrifice himself to the neutrals as he just bought up a little bit. But now MSS has used that hook shot to land on KVH, as they're going to get another kill on the KVH, and this is one thing that they've been doing well. They've gotten 2 kills now onto KVH, but I'm not sure if it's been enough. That did force a rotation out from Angry Testy, so not only did they get that kill, but
top tower is under attack.
They forced Angry Testy to spend that 100 gold to get there with the TP, but also this has sacrificed a bunch of his farming time. That's 1 CS at least that he's missed since being up here, and I'm sure there's a little bit more than that. So it's costing him probably closer to 200, 300 gold to make that rotation.
Radiant's
North
middle
American
tower
Rejects doing
is
a little
under
bit of pulling,
attack.
trying to get as much gold as they can in this top lane.
Is under attack.
Has not been looking good for them. Surprisingly, they're only behind by 5 kills right now. The problem is, we take a look at the scores. Actually, I'll just bring up the whole scoreboard because it's probably easier for you guys to see. But PQ 7-1-5. But the problem is this: we take a look at Korok. He's died 3 times as that safe lane farmer. They have managed to get 2 kills onto KVH, which is quite significant as well. The problem is that Angry Tessie's been left completely alone. MSS, like I say, he's been moving around. He's been doing good. 4-0-2. He's been doing quite well. The problem is that may have sacrificed his scaling a little bit later on into the game, but he has been quite successful with his rotation, so he may be okay. And it looks like he's going to get another one here, as PQ is going to go down. And the best thing that could have happened for them there was that Ush gets the kill with the Sunstrike, and that's exactly what happened. So all 5 of those heroes involved in that kill. So a little bit more gold goes the way of the North American Rejects, and also the XP goes to Ush there as well. As he's picked up a Midas, so he's going to be getting a little bit more gold and a little bit more XP. As MSS going to hook shot on in, finds Angry Tessie. We've got TP support, as they're going to get that kill on the Viper, so they're finding themselves the way back in this game. They're going to deny that bottom tier 1. And don't count them out of it. They were the favorites for this series, 70% to 30% for a reason. Boreal was looking really, really good in the first 10 minutes of this game. Looks like they're going to try to drop the tier 1 tower in the top lane as well. As, there we go. My mouse was frozen there. Not sure why. KVH pops the invis and just walks away.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yes. Harsh TP's to the mid lane. MSS is in there behind him, as I think they wanted to set up a kill onto KVH. Problem is he's in Viz and he's already heading bottom. Fogged is the one in trouble. Will KVH in front? No. But looks like he may not need it. One more raise. There we go. They'll get it. Oh, PQ threw out the Laguna. Completely unnecessary, but they do get the kill. Sunstrike will find Pizza Dad, but the target was PQ. Now we have a smoke from 2 heroes on the side of the North American Rejects, MSS and Chad, as they're going to look to get a kill on Angry Tessie as he's sitting in the mid lane. Here comes the hook shot. Easy hook shot coming out. Traps him in the cogs, battery assaults, and well, they even have Chad stealing the Viper Strike, using that as well. But another good pick-off for the North American Rejects. They're picking off high-value targets right now.
Middle tower is under attack.
So yes, Boreal just got a kill of their own in the bottom lane. The problem is that's not as high a value target as something like a Viper is at this point. Switch on over to net worth. You can see top is still KVH. He's definitely the highest value target for the North American Rejects to keep down, as he's at 6.1k. Second is surprisingly Ush. He's been doing quite well, as he's at 5.2k. Then it's Jeppins at 5k on the Tusk. Then look at this. So I was talking about how Angry Tessie was completely left alone. He did just get picked off twice, and he's sitting at 4.1k net worth. And MSS said moving around early is going to sacrifice his early game and hurt him going on later and later on into this game. But he was quite successful. And apparently he was successful enough as he's almost completely even with Angry Tessie. As well, Angry Tessie's up to 4.3 now, but 4.1 for MSS. As he's almost got a blade mail finished as well. Korok's the big concern though, as he's at 3.7k right now, and he's quite far down that list for the North American Rejects, and that's the one that they were going to really have to try to get back in this game. But I think they've done enough with the Invoker and with the Clockwork to kind of carry them to that point and create that space for Korok to get his farm back and help him get back into the game. But I'm eager to see what Jeppins is able to do. They obviously like this Tusk. Still no points into Frozen Sigil, which is actually an incredible ability. But he'll pick up a bounty rune. Belt of Giant Strength will come out for Ush, as that's going to lead to a Necro Book for him. Angry Tessie almost done finishing his mech. And KVH looks like BKB is going to be his first item, as he's found another invis and he's going hunting, where he's going to find Fogged, who has just landed both of his familiars. And he's going to get blown up by a Requiem, as he almost has Actually, he does have his medallion finished. So he'll look to finish that and probably upgrade it to the new item, which name escapes me at the moment. We'll take a look at it in a second. As Chad is going to steal Requiem from KVH. So he's going to walk in and let it fly as KVH is going to go down. The returning Requiem does a good amount of damage, but both of them will be okay. But they'll probably take a trip back to the fountain. As let's quickly look what this item is called, as I cannot remember for the life of me. As I'm completely drawing a blank here. Here we go. Go away. Go away, Visage. Go away, Invoker. Come on. Solar Crest, that's what it's called. Solar Crest. So he just needs a Talisman of Evasion to complete that. So that's what he'll probably look to upgrade that with. I have a feeling he may go for his Aghanim Scepter first, though. So it may be a little ways before we see that. But BKB getting finished by KVH. It'll be interesting to see if he goes for a Yule Scepter still after completing that. Jeppin still yet to pick anything up. 2.6k gold on him. How about PQ? 2100, probably be... Blink Dagger is going to be his item. Angry Tessie, like I said, finishing his mech as it's flying in on the courier right now. And Pizza Dad, looks like Force Staff is going to be his item of choice. But with that medallion pickup, we've got North American Rejects in the Roche pit. Chad on scouting duty with the smoke. As Roche goes down, and Korok will be the one to pick up the Aegis to pair up with his Helm of the Dominator. Ush has finished that Necro Book, still to set Necro Book 1. So that should be upgraded pretty soon. Chad has picked up a Staff of Wizardry, so is that a Force Staff? Probably, but it could also be a Yule Scepter. It could even be an Aghanim's, but I have a feeling Force Staff is the most likely choice. MSS finished his Blade Mail as well. And we did finally get a pickup for Jeppins as he bought a Shadow Blade on the Tusk. Now there's a lot of heroes here for Boreal. In fact, all 5 of them are gathered in the mid lane, but so we have exactly the same thing on the side of the Dire, as the North American Rejects have 5. The furthest away is actually Korok, as he's gone up to farm a little bit. But Jeppins, using that Shadow Blade, has found MSS, who tries to hookshot away to a teammate, but he goes down before he's able to do so. We're also going to lose Chad as well. This fight very spread out, but should be okay. Looks like it's going to end right there. We're going to lose the mid-tier 1 tower. Ice Shard's going to come out. Oh, not trapping Fogged. But the Fire Blast will stun Fogged up twice with the multi as they look to finish him off. And Jeppins, the Shadow Blades on in there, uses Shadow Blade crit to finish him off. And then Ice Shards will actually find Ush as Pizza Dad's here as well. The Meatball comes flying down, dealing a good amount of damage to Jeppins, but not able to finish him off. The Necrobook minions will try to, but not able to do so. There's that Frozen Sigil coming out. Is it still level 1? But of course, it's just
bottom tower is under attack.
Still does work at level 1. It's so good. So good. I know this is a hero that isn't typically played, so we'll take a quick look at Frozen Sigil and what it does. So you got a 30-second duration of that little thing that you can move around, just like Juggernaut's Healing Ward. But in terms of the slow, movement slow, 10, 15, 20, 25%, but the attack slow is huge as well. 30, 40, 50, 60. And that's to everyone around it. 600 radius. It's actually really good. And it takes, it doesn't actually say here, but it takes a specific number of attacks to actually bring down. It's not HP based. Because that was a change that happened 2, 3, maybe 4 patches ago? I don't know. It was a while ago. But Ush has managed to bring that Necrobook up to level 2. Fog still just has that Enchanted Mango. Chad almost in the Force Staff, so it is a Force Staff he's going out after. MSS, no real progress. And Korok has since picked up a Blade of Alacrity. So Yasha, probably the next item coming up for him. KVH picked up an Ultimate Orb. So looking like he's going after the Scotty, tanking up. We had the Force Staff finished by Pizza Dad.
Radiant's
We got
bottom
an
tower
Ogre
is
Club
under attack.
picked up by Angry Testy. PQ hasn't gone for a Blink Dagger, he's gone for a Force Staff instead. Oh my goodness. I completely missed what happened there, but it looked like... Oh, Chad. Chad was doing a little bit of micro with the courier there. He dropped his ring of regen, which, because he needed to pick up the wards, and I think he just wanted to put it back on the courier as it was there, but Jeppins found him, killed him, and also destroyed the ring of regen. So Chad 350 gold away, or further back from where he was in terms of the progression for that 4-staff. But interesting that, I shouldn't say interesting, it's kind of, it makes a lot more sense now that PQ didn't go for a Blink Dagger. Instead, he went for the 4-staff. It was, of course, he's a support, and he's going up against the Clockwork on the other side, so obviously you want to be able to 4-staff yourself, but also your teammates out of the Cogs trap coming out from MSS. But as I say that, we also have a Blink Dagger picked up by Jeppins as he's jumping in on the mid lane, jumping onto Fogged. Viper Strike's going to come out from Angry Testy. Meanwhile, we've got a fight down here as well as Pizza Dad and PQ with that smoke managed to find a kill onto Chad, but they're also going to find a kill onto Fogged as he's trying to back away. Boreal making some real good rotations here. They're even going to try to bring down some familiars here, but not able to land enough attacks to do so. They will kill off the Necro Book minion there. That's a little bit of gold, 150 gold I believe at Necro 2, going the way of PQ, but of course it was the red one, so it did deal a little bit of damage to him.
Top tower is under attack.
Now he'll actually TP up to the top lane to stop this push, this natural push coming up from the creeps, but Angry Testy TPs as well, so no gold going the way of PQ. Attack. Sad times. Ush now finishes the Necro 3. And yeah, as predicted, Fogged actually picking up a point booster, so his Aghanim Scepter is going to be the next item pickup for him, not choosing to go with the Solar Crest just yet. I imagine that'll come out after he finishes the Aghanims. Chad flying out some more wards and sentries on the courier, but still probably a little sad that he lost his Ring of Regen.
Illusion!
MSS has picked up a Staff of Wizardry, probably going to be a 4-staff of his own, but of course Yule Scepter and Aghanim Scepter are viable options for the Clockwork in this scenario. Korak has finished the Yasha, so that's what he was building with the Blade of Alacrity. Probably going to build that into a Manta now. As we look... Looks like Boreal's going to try to push this mid-tier 2 tower as they're all gathered up in here. Jeppins hunting at the top of the screen, looking for a kill. But North American Rejects playing very, very safe, very, very far back. They weren't looking to defend that tier 2 as it's already gone down. But the question is Boreal done? Or are they going to keep pushing? They're going to walk up onto the high ground here, at least some of them are, as now they're getting a little bit separated as they back away. They'll check the Ancients, nothing there. They'll leave the illusion so it doesn't actually spawn again. It looks like Pizza Dad has found Korok, but he's going to get pushed back and silenced. Jeppins hops on in with this snowball and cancels the TP coming up from Korok, so they do find a kill, but it's on completely the other side of the map. But right before Korok goes down, he manages to buy a Manta recipe, but he, of course, did lose gold for that death, as his reliable gold is only at 170, so you can see his gold total right now. It's well above 170. So a little bit unfortunate there for Korok. KVH has picked up his second ultimate orb, and PQ's also finished up an Ogre Club. So both of them making significant progress to their next 2 items. Of course, the Eye of Scotty and the Aghanim Scepter, and now they've TP'd up into the top lane where Ush is going to try to run away. Do they have any detection? I don't think they do. Jeppin's going to jump on in, trying to get a kill onto Chad, but they just completely turn around and he gets dropped. The Forge Spirits, the Necro Books, MSS, and Chad, like, it's a lot of damage coming up from them. Ush didn't even have to break Invis. KVH trying to bring down a familiar here, but not able to get the 2 extra attacks needed to finish it off.
Top tower is under attack.
With that pick off on Jeppins, North American Rejects will claim this top tier 1 tower. I think. We do have 2 heroes coming in from Boreal. It's KVH and Angry Testy. 2 pretty farmed heroes. Glyph's going to come out. TP's going to come out from Pizza Dad. And they should be able to deny this. The familiars are there as well, so expect them to target this one as soon as it comes up. And there we go. They won't actually bring them down. Fogged on top of that, making sure he doesn't give any extra gold to his opponent, so he immediately resummons his familiars to despawn those two that were about to die. And now, Roche back up. So North American Rejects will walk on into the Roche pit and try to bring this down, get themselves another Aegis, using that illusion rune coming out from Korok to tank Roche. Of course, if those attack, they immediately get destroyed, but if you just walk them in there and actually set them to not attack, then they'll tank Roche for you. And indeed, the Aegis will go on to Korok once again. Ush making his way to the bottom. He has picked up a boot to travel, so we'll be able to TP around the map a little bit more effectively. MSS also hiding in the trees, but just threw out a flare, so technically they should know where he is. 4 staff. Recipe going to get purchased by him, but Pizza Dad and Jeppins will find a kill on Chad in the mid lane. Jeppins has just been hunting on this Tuskar. Maybe HTP's back in the into the bottom lane to push Ush back, because he was threatening the bottom tier 2 tower. Didn't actually activate his Necro 3 though. KVH did just finish his Eye of Scotty. Angry Tessie also has his BKB. PQ, about 700 away from finishing his Aghanims. I'm really interested to see what Jeppins is going to pick up as his next item. He's got 1,300 gold right now. Jeppins, oh look at that. He just blinks on in, uses the Walrus Punch to drop a familiar, and the other one had to land. Now they'll look to bring it down. He drops the Frozen Sigil to slow down that familiar, giving him a little bit more gold. Of course, still on cooldown, so Fog not able to summon those familiars this time to prevent that gold going the way of Boreal eSports. Blink Dagger now gets picked up by Ush, and the Manta also gets finished by Korok. As for our gold graph, let's see where we stand. 7,500 gold in favor of Boreal eSports. They're certainly not as far ahead this game as the North American Rejects were last game, but they are ahead, and it's a pretty big margin. So this game looking pretty much in favor of Boreal eSports as it stands right now. 10,000 XP as well in favor of them.
Radiant's middle tower
And they have to be ahead, you know. They're down 1-0 in this best of 3 so far, and Jeppin's going to look to find another kill. He's going to open up onto Fog. Not really doing much damage, but he doesn't know that Chad's above. He does know that PK is coming in to help him, though, as PK is going to try to single out Chad here. Throws it at the Laguna. Now Chad should steal it. Yes, he will. He will steal Laguna. Now PK's on the run as Ush came in and killed him. And now Jeppin's on the run as he's going to try to run away. He's got haste activated. Going to pop the Shadow Blade, but look at this. Sentry down. They just saw where Jeppins went. They don't have any further vision of him. KVH will come in, get the kill onto Chad on that Rubik, and now he'll find a kill onto Fogged as Jeppins just runs right back to his team. Creep's trying to finish Jeppins off, but yeah, he's got 400 HP. He should be fine. But what was looking like, what started as some aggression from Boreal, looked like it was going a little bit in favor of North American Rejects, but then it just gets completely turned around
middle tower is
as
under attack.
the rest of Boreal eSports just got there sooner. As you know what? I'll get to that point in a second as Ush is going to get stunned up here.
Dire's bottom tower is under
We just had the one TP coming in from Pizza Dad. Now here's the second as it's going to be PQ as they're going to look to re-engage. Oh no, the Deafening Blast off. The timing was off because he timed it with a 3-second TP, but of course Pizza Dad had just come in there. So the
top tower is under attack.
The TP from PQ was going to take a little bit longer than the standard 3 seconds. Now Korok claiming the top tier 2 tower, but Angry Testy TP zone. He'll time that properly. So Angry Testy is silenced. But we missed a kill on MSS down here by Jeppins. But that was the point I wanted to make, is that, you know, we saw MSS come out of that lane early, and I was a little bit worried that the rest of his game was going to be hurt by the fact that he was moving around so much. But we saw him get involved a lot. I think he was 4-0-2 at one point. But since then, he hasn't really been able to do much. His net worth was good, so those rotations put him in a good spot, but he's been struggling quite a bit. He's now 4-2-7, so he's been involved in some kills, but he's died 2 times, and frankly, I haven't felt like he's been there most of the time on the map. So they'll look to try and get him involved, and finally Chad will finish his Force Staff after losing that Ring of Regen earlier on. Jeppins has picked up a Mithril Hammer. Is that a BKB or is it the new
is under attack.
Desolator? We still haven't seen a Desolator picked up in 6.84, at least in my cast, as it did get its cost reduced significantly, reduced by 600 gold. PQ has also finished his Aghanim Scepter. Jeppins has already TP'd to the bottom lane. He's sitting in Viz, but this is a Necro 3, so of course they can see him when he's running around in Viz there. He will snowball in and stun up one of the Forge Spirits and then just turn around Walrus Punch one of the Necro minions. Sunstrike comes out, but it won't find Jeppins. Now Ush and Fogged will both back away. So Fogged has finished his Aghanim Scepter, so now we'll look to see if Solar Crest is the next item pickup for him. Ush has also picked up an Ultimate Orb. Maybe Sheepstick? He will find Pizza Dad with the Tornado, but Pizza Dad has forced himself back, so that combo doesn't land. He's also picked up a Point Booster, so eventually we're going to see an Aghanim Scepter coming out for the Ogre Magi. KVH has added an Eagle Song to his pool. Butterfly is going to be on the way for him. I already mentioned PQ finishing his Aghanims. And Agri-Testy, we haven't really seen anything from him. Like, he got that BKB, still hasn't used it since he's farmed 1700 gold, but I don't know, it doesn't really feel like he's been able to do too much in this game as of recently. Korok continues to bring himself back in this game as he's just finished a BKB that's flying in on the courier right now. He's got a Ralph the Alpha Wolf in tow right now, buffing his damage up. There's the BKB getting delivered. Chad has delivered that Force Staff. And MSS now will hookshot in. KVH was going for that bounty rune. And he'll pop his BKB, let the Requiem fly, but he will go down. Now PQ comes in, lets the Laguna go. Chad steals, but doesn't get it. He gets the Light Strike Array. But they will find Pizza Dad as he's trying to run away. He's already used his Force Staff, but a triple multicast will help him out here. But I don't think it's going to help him enough, as the Familiars will get the double stun. And all these damn summons bringing them down. Double Forge Spirit, Necrobook minions, and then 3 Familiars. That's a lot of damage coming out from summons. And with that, North American Rejects will make a move into the bottom lane. Are they going to try to put some pressure on this tier 3? This is a lot of heroes to bring down here. It looks like they're going to commit to it. 10 seconds before we have the Lina, 25 from Ogre, and 30, just over 30 before the Shadow Fiend. Ush adds a Void Stone to his stash, so it is going to be a Sheepstick coming out from him next. What do we got flying in? It is going to be a Talisman of Evasion delivering to Fog, so it is going to be a Solar Crest. We'll take a quick look at what that does in just a second.
Radiant's bottom tower has
But
fallen.
they've claimed the tier 3 and now they'll back away, so we'll see exactly what a Solar Crest does. There we go. Okay, so temporarily removes the armor and evasion from Solar Crest, so it works just like your I'm drawing a blank. Medallion of Courage. There we go. Works just like a Medallion of Courage. So it basically removes the armor from you and the evasion associated with it. But when you cast it on an ally, you can grant them 10 armor and 30% evasion. When you cast it on an enemy, then it removes 10 armor and blinds them, causing them to miss 30% of their attacks. So it's basically an upgraded medallion, but it also has the benefit of potentially allowing you to cast it on your teammates and help protect them further. It's a great support item, but it is a little expensive. But it works great on heroes that naturally like to get the Medallion of Courage. Think Vengeful Spirit as well. Although I think it's pretty much a for sure go-to for a Visage. As for Vengeful Spirit, I think there are some other options that she'd like to go for. A mobility item, like Force Staff, is definitely one of the big ones. Of course, the Visage likes to get that Aghanim Scepter, and we saw Fogged go for that before completing it. But Visage also gets a little bit more gold, or quite a bit more gold than a Vengeful Spirit. Roche will go down. Korok's going to get the Aegis once again. And there was Cheese. What was it? Ush picked that up? Yeah, Ush will pick that up, and he's also finished his Sheepstick. Now we hop over to Jeppins as he's finished his Desolator. So it was a Desolator coming out from him, and oh my goodness, all those wards and stuff being purchased. Now we're going to have a little bit of Engager, and Jeppins is going to go down. Korok's going to get blown up immediately as well, but he does have the Aegis, so he'll be back. Chad's going to go down. Now Ush engages from the bottom as he throws the Tornado, and now he's going to CC up PQ as he tries to bring him down. But meanwhile on the top, we still have this fight going on as the Shadow Fiend getting right-clicked down, but Ush pops the cheese. He goes back up to full, as that's going to turn this fight around in favor of the North American Rejects. We do lose Angry Testy and MSS. Pizza Dad is the only one left alive for Boreals. He's going to try to run away, but those Force Staffs and the Blink Daggers coming out for North American Rejects, that's going to allow them to catch on up to Pizza Dad, get the kill there. And remember, this Tier 3 that was brought down earlier, now these racks are completely exposed.
Radiant's bottom barracks are
All
under
5
attack.
heroes are dead on the side of Boreal. The only one with buyback is Angry
Radiant's middle
Testy.
tower, Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
We will have Tusk back up in 10 seconds. The Jeppins
Radiant's
will
bottom barracks
maybe
has fallen.
look to defend with that, and then it's going to be another 10 seconds or so after that before we're going to have the lean up. The buyback will
Radiant's
come
middle
out from
tower is
Angry
under
Testy.
attack.
Jeppins aggressive TP here as he's going to try to go on them, and he's going to blink right over the silence coming out from Korok, but he immediately gets sheeped by Ush, and he's going to go down. And now it's Angry Testy and PQ left to defend. As the Tier 3's gone down, the melee racks are starting to get focused. And they're going down pretty quickly. 10 seconds before the Ogre, 15 before the Shadow Fiend. Will they be able to get this melee racks? They're not. They're not going to stick around long enough. So we will just have the one set of racks go. The bottom set of racks. The mid Tier 3 goes down, which is quite significant. Remember how
Radiant's
important
middle barracks
that
are under
bottom
attack.
Tier 3 going down was. Keeps those, or at least makes those racks very, very vulnerable. But the melee racks, or the mid racks, will still stay up. Now, Ush finishing, I should say, picking up a soul booster, because that's not him finishing. He's probably going after an Octarine core on the Invoker, so that's going to not only reduce his cooldowns by 25%, which is terrific for Invoker, but also it's going to give him 25% lifesteal on all of his spells that he casts. Interesting that the players are starting to get a little bit more comfortable with these new items and picking them up. Aghanims has been finished by MSS. Fogged. I'm sure that he used the Solar Crest in that fight. I didn't see it come out. It's a little bit hectic in that last fight to really see what was going on there, but looks like it's been working out for him so far. KVH has finished his Butterfly. Angry Testy has picked up a Yasha. It's not the biggest item pickup in the world, but he's got another 1,000 gold on hand. You have to remember that he did spend that gold on buyback. Jeppins and Co. will TP back where Ush was threatening in the top lane. So Hilda's back in response. Chad looks like he's going to be picking up a point booster, working towards an Aghanim Scepter of his own. Korok also just finished an Eye of Scotty. Ooh, a gem's going to come out for PQ. So Boreal, although they were pretty much in the driver's seat for the vast majority of this game, they're going to look to pick up a gem and try and get a little bit of map control back, as they've lost it pretty badly. And now we take a look at the net worth, and it is plummeted. Boreal eSports, they were looking so good, up at around 8,000 gold ahead for a while there. We saw it just kind of start stalling out a little bit. Still in their favor, but then all of a sudden, whoosh, just dropping straight down 15,000 gold. Now in favor of the North American Rejects. That's a huge turnaround. Almost 25,000 net worth difference in just, well, what are we at? 39 minutes? What does this mark? Let's call that 27. So basically 12 minutes we've had that big of a gold swing. Crazy. And there we go. Ush finishes the Octarine core. 25% reduction in cooldowns, 25% hero spell lifesteal, 5% for anything that gets hit, all the creeps that get hit. Quite significant, and of course it gives you all the great benefits of Soul Booster. Oh, Jeppin's invis. Will he be able to find a kill here with Ush? Pizza Dad was also TPing on up. Jeppin's trying to chase him down. Will Snowball jump on top of him? But Jeppin's able to get that invis off. Pizza Dad dropping a sentry. But it did buy Ush enough time so that he can blink up into the trees here. It's Boreal on the ropes here. They're already down. One game in this series is... Well, it's not do or die. They will just drop down to the loser's bracket. But now they just lost their mid-melee racks as these familiars managing to get them fogged. Hanging out maybe a little bit too close as he's going to get punished. Or maybe not. He looks like he might get away. Never mind. Attack comes out from KVH. It's going to drop him. MSS is going to hookshot back to a teammate as he escapes thanks to Ush. Well, Jeppin's going down. Korok, BKB will just expire. Angry Tessie taking quite a bit of damage. Chad force-staffing himself but not getting up onto the high ground. Oh, Sunstrike is on the mark. Good play there coming up from Ush. As it catches Angry Tessie as he was trying to back to the fountain. Now MSS will hookshot in. Trap KVH. Force-staff himself back out of the cogs. But has it been enough to secure the kill on KVH? It has. No buyback available for any of the three heroes dead for Boreal eSports as it's just the two supports alive. And now North American Reject will drop this top set of racks. GG will get called by Boreal eSports as North American Reject still remain relatively undefeated in this tournament. Of course, like I said earlier, just losing that one game to top 5 where they had a bunch of DC issues. But they will advance to our grand finals. So they're guaranteed a top 2 finish. Boreal eSports will drop down to the loser's bracket where they'll play in the loser's bracket finals. Of course, if they lose that, they're going to finish 3rd, and if they win that, then they come back up and play North American Rejects in the grand finals. But we've got a lot of games still left to determine, well, not a lot, but we do have some games left to determine who will be playing in that losers bracket finals. Of course, we know it's going to be Boreal, but first we've got to play Rift and eHug, as they're not even in the semifinals yet for the losers bracket. That's still a quarterfinals match for the losers bracket. That will be our next cast, which is going to be on Saturday, so May 9th, and that's going to be starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's best of 1 between eHug and Summer's Rift. But that time's still tentative, so I'll let you know if it changes. But for now, it's been set as that time. So that should be our next cast. Everything else is waiting on that. The winner of that, well, first of all, the loser, they're gone. The winner of that moves on to losers bracket semis, where they'll play against Wheel. And then the winner of that will play Boreal, and then for the shot at the trip to the grand finals, which will be a best of 5. Also, the losers bracket finals is a best of 1, or best of 3, not a best of 1 like I was saying earlier. Or at least that's what I'm reading right now. It says best of 3. So I'll have to actually double check to make sure that that's a best of 3. But we've got, how many matches is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 series left for this tournament. It's going to be 2 best of 1s and looks like a best of 3 and then a best of 5. So we've still got a lot of games left to go. And hopefully you guys will come by and check all those out. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. As well, actually, I should say, on that Saturday, on May 9th, I'm probably going to be casting some more of the Saturday Dota League prior to the start of that match as well. So definitely, if you've got nothing to do on Saturday during the day, check out the stream, check out my Twitter, find out when I'm going to be casting. I'll let you guys know, but find out when I'm going to be casting and stop by, say hi, and check out some of those games, as that's a great new league starting up, and I'm thrilled to be casting for them. But yeah, like I said, that's going to do it for this game and for this series, as the North American Rejects win 2-0 in the series. And yeah, make sure you hit me up with all the follows on twitch.tv/NizCast, YouTube, and Twitter. Both of them are NizCast. You guys can find that. It's nice and easy. I'll upload all the VODs from these 2 matches to my YouTube account. In it'll probably take me a little bit though to get those up, but they will be up by tomorrow morning for sure. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys again on Saturday. There is the off chance I may cast on Thursday. May cast a little bit of SCS again. I'm still unsure. I might want to rest my voice a little bit longer, as I've also been really busy during the day. So I'll let you guys know if I'm going to be casting on Thursday. But until then, I'll see you guys. Have a good night.